Picture this. It is 2 in the morning. Your ad manager is quiet. No creators are filming. No editors are awake. But somewhere, a server spins up, grabs a single product photo, reads one sentence of instructions, and starts cranking out ad after ad after ad. Studio quality UGC style images and videos, ready for TikTok and Meta, all without a single human stepping in. This is not a pitch deck fantasy. This is what Google's new Nano Banana Pro model is already doing right now. Here is the twist. The brands running this do not have giant engineering teams. They are wiring Google's Nano Banana Pro into a no-code automation tool called N8N, paying roughly $6 a month for a small virtual server, and letting an automated workflow become their ad factory that never sleeps. One product shot in, dozens of ad variants out. No creator contracts, no back and forth revisions, no waiting weeks. In a few minutes, I will walk you through that exact blueprint, step by step, so you can see how far this really goes. To understand why this matters, think about how influencer and UGC campaigns work today. You hunt for creators, negotiate fees and usage rights, ship products, wait 2 to 4 weeks, then maybe get 10 or 20 usable clips. If you want to test a new hook or angle, you reset that entire clock. But with Nano Banana Pro plugged into automation, that whole process collapses into hours. One workflow can take a smartphone photo of sunscreen and a line like 23-year-old blonde woman raving about this SPF and instantly spin out dozens of vertical hooks and thumbnails. And it is not just sunscreen. Swap the product photo and that one-line prompt, and the same pipeline can churn content for supplements, kitchen gadgets, or even software dashboards. Nano Banana Pro takes what earlier Nano Banana models did and makes them look primitive. Version 1 gave you AI-ish mockups. Pro jumps to near studio-grade product photography. Sharper edges, realistic lighting, and far fewer weird artifacts around hands, bottles, or packaging. But here is the part nobody expected. The real breakthrough is not just pretty pictures. It is text. In UGC ads, tiny text is life or death. Brand names on bottles, SPF claims on labels, little call to action badges in the corner. Nano Banana won't often smudged logos or turned type into unreadable gibberish. Nano Banana Pro keeps logos sharp, preserves brand colors, and even respects the curve of a bottle, so the text hugs it like a real label. You can zoom in on ingredient lists and still read them. That means these images are not just mood boards. They are ready for Shopify product pages and direct use in Meta and TikTok campaigns. Now imagine what performance marketers can do with that. You can generate 3 variants of the same product shot where the only difference is the text badge. One says 50% off in the corner. One says limited stock along the top. One says dermatologist approved near the logo. Nano Banana Pro keeps the product geometry identical while swapping just those elements. Suddenly, A/B testing offer copy inside the image itself becomes a controlled science experiment, not a design project. And in a moment, we will stack this with aspect ratios and resolution to see why version 2 makes everything before it obsolete. Earlier models basically lived in square or classic widescreen. That meant awkward crops when you tried to run vertical TikTok or Reels ads. Heads chopped off, logos sliced. Nano Banana Pro natively composes for 9x16 vertical, 4x5 Instagram feed, and 16x9 YouTube, so the focal point is right where you need it for each platform. Add higher resolution that actually survives TikTok compression, and suddenly you get fine hair strands, fabric texture, and smooth gradients that do not turn to mush when uploaded. Then there is consistency across multiple images. Nano Banana Pro can keep the same AI model, same outfit, and same product across 3 to 5 frames while changing pose, angle, or background props. That means you can spin up an entire carousel or story sequence that looks like a real creator just shot a mini photo set. But how do you actually wire all of this together without writing code? That is where N8N comes in, and this is the part that quietly changes who gets to compete in paid media. Think of N8N as the nervous system of your ad factory. Every product photo, every prompt, every script passes through it as structured data, gets enriched, and is routed to the right AI model automatically. Instead of writing Python scripts and cron jobs, you drag and connect nodes on a canvas. One node calls Google's Nano Banana Pro endpoint. Another saves files to cloud storage. Another pings a webhook from your Shopify store. You can even get a Slack notification when a fresh batch of UGC ads is ready to test. In a minute, we will zoom into a real workflow so you can picture the conveyor belt end to end. Compared to tools like Zapier, N8N plays a different game. Zapier is great for simple if this then that automations, like new row in a sheet, send an email. But an infinite ad factory needs 20 to 40 steps, nested conditionals, and branches based on model quality scores. N8N treats that complexity as normal. And because you can self-host it, cost drops hard. Cloud plans start around $20 a month, but a basic virtual private server can run N8N for roughly $6 while keeping your API keys and customer data in your own stack. For high-volume creative testing, that cost per run really matters. So how do you get from zero to automated for that $6 mark? Most people choose between N8N Cloud, local hosting, or a cheap VPS local is free but dies when your laptop sleeps, which kills always-on ad pipelines. N8N Cloud is fully managed but closer to $20 a month. The sweet spot is a prepackaged VPS from a host like Hostinger. Pick their KVM2 plan, lock in a 24-month term, and with a discount code, the effective price lands around $6 per month. You choose a server region near your ad accounts to keep latency low, click to deploy N8N as an application, and a few minutes later, your editor is live in the browser. If that still feels intimidating, there is an easier on-ramp. You can start with N8N Cloud's 14-day free trial, open the editor, and simply import a pre-built workflow. Zubair, the creator behind this setup, ships a JSON blueprint that already wires Nano Banana Pro image upload and UGC video generation into one pipeline. You download the file, click import from file in N8N, and your entire automation appears. Upload a product shot, describe the model, hit execute workflow, and watch your first infinite ad engine spin up in real time. But what exactly is happening inside that blueprint? Picture a conveyor belt that starts with a single product photo and ends with a finished UGC-style ad. No designer touching Photoshop. First, an N8N form trigger exposes a simple web form. A user uploads a product image and types a short creative brief like 23-year-old blonde woman talking about this mineral sunscreen. When they click submit, N8N packages that image and text into a structured payload and fires the workflow. Next stop, a vision model such as OpenAI Vision inspects the image and generates a detailed description of colors, textures, labels, and layout that a rushed media buyer would never type by hand. Those two streams, the human brief and the machine description, merge at an AI agent node. Think of it as a prompt engineer on autopilot. It combines the user's intent, like TikTok-style testimonial with summer beach vibe, with the forensic details from the vision model, like matte white bottle, orange cap, SPF 50 label, and logo placement. The agent then outputs a dense Nano Banana ready prompt that locks in product fidelity while leaving room for creative variation. Camera, angle, model demographic, environment, lighting, props, aspect ratio, and even negative prompts are all spelled out for you. From there, an HTTP request node sends that prompt straight to the Nano Banana Pro endpoint, along with your API key, resolution settings, and how many variations you want. Google servers generate the images and return either URLs or encoded image data. N8N catches that response and can immediately save files to cloud storage, drop them into a media library, or even hand them to a Meta or TikTok upload node. In other words, the moment the creative exists, it can be live in your ad library, ready for campaigns. This changes who gets to run high-velocity creative testing. But a lot of AI ads still look fake, right? That is usually a prompt problem. Most people ask for cinematic lighting and perfect studio shots, which is the opposite of real UGC. Strong prompts anchor three things: device, environment, and intent. Phrases like shot on a smartphone, handheld vertical video, slight motion blur, and front-facing camera perspective push Nano Banana Pro toward that familiar arm's length selfie look. Swap cinematic lighting for late afternoon window light or overhead kitchen light, and the plasticky sheen starts to disappear. Context clutter matters too. Instead of clean background, you want slightly messy bedroom, bathroom counter with everyday toiletries, or coffee table with laptop and notebook. Those extra objects hide the sterile AI feel and make the product look like it actually lives in someone's life. You can also nudge expressions with words like candid moment, caught mid-sentence, and unposed expression, which produce micro-expressions instead of frozen influencer smiles. Writing that level of detail 40 times a day would be torture by hand. The AI agent inside your workflow turns it into a repeatable template that expands a short brief into a 100-plus word UGC ready prompt on every run. Under the hood, that agent can even pull from a library of style tokens and negative prompts tuned for Nano Banana Pro. Things like no studio lighting, no perfect symmetry, no heavy makeup, no glossy reflections. That keeps one winning visual style consistent across dozens of variants, while still varying scenes, outfits, and props. And remember, this is not theory. Case studies from Nano Banana Pro tutorials are already reporting around 3.6x return on ad spend from AI-generated UGC, competitive with human-shot content, but infinitely easier to scale. The question is not, can it work? It is, what happens to the creator economy when infinite synthetic influencers are this cheap? Because once you can turn a single static product shot into a believable 10 to 20-second vertical video, the line between real and synthetic creators starts to blur. Zubair's workflow already bakes this in. After Nano Banana Pro produces a sharp UGC style frame, N8N passes it to a video generation model like VO 3.1, along with a short testimonial style script. Out comes a clip that looks like it was filmed on a front camera with natural motion and lip sync, not rendered in a studio. In a feed moving at 60 frames per second, most viewers will never notice. So here are the real stakes. For brands, this levels the playing field. A small team with a $6 VPS and a few API keys can run creative testing at a pace that used to require agencies and big budgets. For human creators, the pressure shifts. Brands may still want authentic faces and communities, but they no longer need you for every single variation, every hook, every reshoot. And for platforms and regulators, synthetic influencers at scale raise new questions about disclosure, trust, and what counts as deceptive advertising. If you are a marketer, the immediate move is simple. Learn how to orchestrate, not just how to brief. Tools like N8N, Google's Nano Banana Pro, and modern video models let you design systems that generate, test, and iterate creative on autopilot. You do not have to abandon human creators, but you can reserve them for brand-defining moments while your synthetic ad factory handles the day-to-day grind. If you want a deeper breakdown of the exact N8N nodes and prompt templates to copy, tell me in the comments. We are at the dawn of synthetic influencers and infinite UGC, powered not by giant studios, but by workflows anyone can import in under an hour. Google's Nano Banana Pro fixed the visual and text fidelity problems. N8N turned messy AP is into a drag and drop assembly line. Cheap hosting made it always on. The next few years will decide whether this becomes just another tool or the default way performance creative gets made. If you want more deep dives on stacks like this and what they